Yeah, look, I'm actually looking at it for 2027. Couldn't get it in this year. My biggest problem, Luke, is sponsorship, and also where do we put it? Like this is all right. Let's just forget this is a public channel, and we're having a team meeting, which we just did upstairs just before this interview. But my conundrum's this: that our pro qualifier shows are already packed. We have to do them over two days because we've got so many athletes. Our state shows are packed, like particularly Queensland, Sydney, and Melbourne shows. We start at 9 in the morning. And Scott, you know how hard I push it to get it done by 6 o'clock. There's no gaps between divisions. They all get plenty of call outs and the judging's fair and all that, but we can't shorten it anymore. So where do you put a pro show on? I don't think after people listening to me from 9 in the morning till 6 at night really want to come back for an evening show to see the pros. And we don't have time to do a pre-judging during the day. So that says, okay, maybe we need to do a standalone pro show. Like back when you were competing as a pro, Luke, you'd know that our Australian pro originally came about because our amateur shows were so bad and so unsupported, and obviously we had head office running out of Sydney, and the numbers were really terrible. So our original Australian Pro, which I'd do a week or 2 weeks after the Arnold, it was like the Southern States Amateur Show where we might get 20, 30 athletes. We put the pro show on because that would change the audience from 200 people to 1,000 people because everyone come to see the pros. Now, that particular season, we're getting 200 athletes in the amateurs. So we don't need a pro show to prop it up. Does that make sense? So I'm like, where do we put it on? And I'm open to suggestions. But if we do a standalone one, and maybe we start with, for example, classic physique, bikini, something like that. Maybe fit model, not the open men's, because that's where the big costs are to put it on. So maybe we can start with something like that in 2027. Maybe a standalone show, maybe a week after the pro qualifier, so our Aussie pros could go in the show. But then you got the cost of the venue all over again. You got your sanction fees and you got your prize money. So we're probably looking at close to needing to generate probably $100,000 just to be able to facilitate that, to put it on. So if anyone out there just loves pro bodybuilding, wants me to do it, and you've got a company, might be a building company or a diamond company or, precious metals, I don't know. Like, we're open to suggestions, and I'm very, very easy to find and talk to. If someone's got a way to help us to do that, I'm an open book and I'd love to do it. Yeah, but things have changed a lot. We started our Australian Pro in 2001. I'd lose money on them. I'd do anything to put those shows on. Still the most fun days of my life. But the amateur shows weren't big. They were so bad, we really needed the pro shows to keep bodybuilding alive, and it did. We got to remember too, back then no one had access to the pros, which is why when we bring a guest poser in or do a pro show, everyone wanted to hear their story. Everyone wanted to come to the seminar. Everyone wanted to see. Now they're all got their own YouTube channels. Everyone knows when they eat, when they drink, when they piss, when they wash, what kind of car they drive, about their struggles. Like, there's no interview there to be had. So therefore, the product has to be a show, right? And to do that, you need some top names, and I'd love to have something here so our Aussies have a chance to compete on their home soil in a pro show. So anyone's got any idea after hearing that how we can do it, fucking hit me. There's no cure for this one!